Welcome, class, and my name is Dr. Holloman, and today we're going to talk about Financial Accounting 2021. This will be your first official lecture that you will be able to watch online. So I would like for you guys to utilize your resources carefully. Also, pay attention to some of the tips that I have given you earlier during the syllabus, and hopefully we can start on a good start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each chapter into the various objectives that I feel that needs to be explained thoroughly on these mini series of webinars, I guess if that's what you want to call it, or videos, and we're going to just go from there. So the first thing that I want to talk about, the first thing that chapter really deals with chapter 1, is why is accounting important? What's so important about accounting? And so that's what I want to delve into for this mini little video. So, a lot of people have the idea that accounting has to do with math. And that's not true. That is a misconception about accounting, okay? Accounting deals with numbers. But in terms of math, it's not a lot of math in accounting, okay? You can add, subtract, multiply, possibly divide when you're dealing with accounting. But in terms of these really statistic-based calculus-derived formulas, you can forget that. You'll never see that in accounting. So in terms of accounting as a discipline, why is it so important for all of our businesses? Why do all of our businesses have such a value on accounting? Why at SBI do they require that you guys take up to 4 accounting classes instead of the normal colleges that normally requires 2 for any non-accounting majors? Well, a simple reason is this. Accounting does 2 things that you have to be considerate about. It reports and it records, okay? I'll give you a formal definition for accounting, which I normally don't like to give a lot of formal definitions in, but this is one that you should be able to understand. Accounting is a process that records and reports information, in order for you all to make decisions, okay? So, what it's doing is it's recording and reporting information about a company in order for anybody who has use of that accounting information to make valuable decisions. Now, there are a couple of key words in that particular definition. Record and report, decision making. Okay? And so that's where the power lies in accounting information. Because basically you have these day-to-day activities, which we're going to learn to call them transactions, but these day-to-day activities that affect the business every single day. Just imagine you having a particular business. I don't care what it is. It could be a corner store. It could be a mom and pop pizza place. It could be a fashion house. It doesn't matter. But every day that this business is being active, it has certain things that's taken into effect, certain activities that are taking place. And these activities we call transactions. Now, from the accounting perspective, all the accountants have to do is record and report that information. Okay? And so that's the duty of accounting. Accounting records that information for those day-to-day activities. It then summarizes them at the end of a period in order to generate a particular report. We're going to talk about those reports a little bit later, but I want you to grasp the core concept of what you're doing with accounting. Think of it like a historian. Most of the historians of back in the days, you had those guys that were called scribes. And what scribes used to do was jot down all the information that took place as history unfolds. Well, that's the same thing that an accountant does. An accountant's duty is to jot down that information that's taking place and affecting the business. Now, where the power comes in at is that that information gives people the power to make decisions. Okay? And so that's why it's so important for anybody to have an understanding of accounting. Okay? Think about it from this perspective. Fortunately, you guys are going to graduate and you're going to get these nice careers and you're going to make a lot of money, and eventually you're going to start to save up to retire. And you may also take some of your income and decide to invest, hopefully if you're a business student. And upon trying to invest on different types of companies and deciding on different types of investment instruments, one of the main things that you have to do is consider how well the company is being maintained, the performance of the company. Okay? And in order for you to understand the performance of any company or what the company is actually doing or have done in the past, is you have to have the ability to understand accounting information. Okay? So accounting has the power to keep track of all that information so that people can make decisions. That was just one example. We talk about the government. We talk about Uncle Sam and the taxing authorities. These guys use accounting information from day-to-day activities of different businesses and even personal individuals like you and I in order to keep track of how they get their sources of income, applying tax to our income. Okay? Think of another example of business to business. We have certain business conglomerates that decide to merge with other businesses, and before they go into mergers or they buy out certain companies, they need to have a value for the company. They need to be able to identify what the value is of the company so that they could properly negotiate the deals for the transactions, right? I think a couple of, like last year or so, what was it, Beats? I think Beats by Dre was bought out, and I think Apple bought it out for like over $2 billion or something like that. Well, that number didn't come out the wazoo. That number came out from basically identifying how that company is performing. Okay, and they did that solely by using accounting information. And so you have various people who can use accounting information.